Hello everybody, welcome back to Minecraft in Life. Um, Before I get into the discussion of this episode, I want to go ahead and make some announcements. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and get a shout out to Chelsea, also known as, see if I can pronounce this right now, Duckturnrot. And I can't really pronounce her art page's name, but I will have a link in the description, which you guys might as well get used to that. I will always have a link in the description to her art page. Her work is very amazing. Um, like, for example, my profile picture for this channel, I actually gave her more than what she asked for. That's just how amazing she is as an artist. Uh, Especially if you like fan art. She has amazing selection of fan art. Another thing is I'm going to have several other series on this channel. Um, there's Dr. Terminus Lost in Skyrim. For those of you who ever watched Pete's Dragon, that's the same Dr. Terminus. So I'm still practicing his voice. I used to be able to pull it off really well, and lately I've been having a hard time with doing that. I got a lot going on. But I will be getting that series available on YouTube as soon as possible. Another one's going to be Classic Wood Elf, where I play Skyrim as a, Wood Elf. It's for laughs and comedy. And the final one will be, well, not final, there's probably going to be other series after, is going to be The Plight of No Name Given Yet. And that one is going to be another Minecraft playthrough, but I will be playing an actual character. There will be a storyline, and it's going to be a mystery for the most part. Like his, past life, where he's from, and all that will be pretty much a mystery for people to solve if you're into solving things. Um, I will be doing my old man voice for that, which I'm able to pull that off like the fly easily enough. So, you know, that's pretty solid right there. So anyways, without further ado, let's get on to the discussion of this episode. And this one is dealing with loss. Now, it's taken me a while to get to this. I was going to do it the other day, but as you can imagine, this is not going to be easy for me, or probably not for anybody who's ever had to deal with loss, and I'm pretty sure most of us have, if not all of us, at some point. Um, so last year in 2020, I lost two brothers, 6 months apart, one in February and one in August. The first one, I found his body myself, and it was not, I was going to say it was not easy, but that's a severe understatement. It it wrecked the hell out of me. It really wrecked me. Uh, and I called 911, and I don't really know how to describe how I sounded. Like I was. I was crying, obviously, but my voice was so different that the lady on the phone kept calling me ma'am. And I'm not sensitive about, people saying ma'ams or whatever to me. It's no big deal. But excuse me, to give you a rough idea how distraught I was, it was that. And I'm actually still going for that. I'm still going through therapy for losing my other brother as well. I almost said his name. I'm going to go ahead and say their name, Sam and Shane, to clear up any confusion. Um, Excuse me. I think the reason why I'm able to talk about it now and not completely break down is because I, you know, I've broken down so many times last year that I couldn't even keep count. And the thing about loss is that it doesn't have to just be losing a person. It could be a lot of things, like losing an aspect of a person or losing an aspect of yourself, not being the same person as you once were, feeling like you're, or losing something that's precious or valuable to you. It's never easy for anyone. And, excuse me, I'm sorry. And in case someone ever comments or say, well, I guess last year wasn't as bad for me as it is, it's not about comparison. And I only bring this up because I've actually had people say that to me, like, oh wow, I don't feel bad about what my year was like now all of a sudden. And it's not a competition. It's not who had it worse or who had it better. You know, loss and trauma is not something that can be quantified or measured in comparison to other people. Sure, sometimes you may say, well, at least I don't have it that bad. And that's fine, but I don't want people feeling like I'm trying to trivialize what they've been through based on what I've been through. You know, it's like I want to show other people the same respect that I would expect them to show me. So I just want to clear that up real quick. Um, but back to the subject at hand. I know I kind of went off subject for a second there. Uh, I don't know how long it takes to get yourself to the point where you have any kind of closure, or if there's even closure. I don't know if I'm ever personally going to have closure because I have regret. When it comes to my brothers, I wish I'd been there more for them. I wish I cherished them more than I did. And honestly, I think even if I had placed them on pedestals way above what anyone should be expected of, I think even then I would still feel regrets, you know? And there's times I do blame myself for them being gone. Again, I know I'm probably going to get comments saying you shouldn't blame yourself. And you know what? I really shouldn't. No one should ever feel this way. But it happens, and I don't know how to turn that emotion off. I don't know how to stop myself from feeling that way. And sometimes it happens so randomly that it just catches me hard. It chokes me up. It makes me feel like I have a hard time breathing sometimes. Sometimes I can feel a massive lump in my throat. And I'm not so naive to even begin to think that I'm the only one that's ever gone through this. Obviously, so many people have gone through this before. But, you know, opening up about it does sometimes help. You know, it doesn't hurt to talk about these things. You know, I'm not one of those old school thinkers where, oh, you have to hold it all in. You know, there are times I do hold it in. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and it's not from some kind of old school misogynist view or anything like that. It's, I have a daughter. I have nieces and nephews, and they miss my brothers dearly. Especially my nieces and nephews. They miss their father. My youngest brother. You know, at times I do gotta be the stronger person, the bigger person, especially for the kids. It's not right. It's not fair. And I know life isn't always fair or always right. I mean, for example, the first time I clinically died, I was like 5 years old, and I'm the oldest brother. And it was at that point I've accepted my mortality. But I don't think Sam Shane was ready to go, and most people aren't. And that's natural. Like, that's actually natural to being alive. That, while it's true, in the end, we must all die. We'll all pass away eventually. It's going to happen. And it's such a dark thing a lot of time to think about. So dark that our brains just, usually, the normal human brain doesn't comprehend that. So, it's natural to not be ready to go. Unless you've reached that point in your life, like, where it's about to happen. Like, if you have a disease or cancer, or you're just really old. I've worked at the VA before, and I've had a lot of elderly patients they've accepted that they don't have much time left. But to be so young, like my brothers, they were in their 30s, and they really weren't ready, and that's normal. You know, the only reason why I've accepted my mortality is because I've clinically died since, when I was 5, and I did it again when I think I was 22, and yet again, somewhere in my early 30s, it was 2015, when my lung collapsed and I had a stroke. So I've gone through the process so many times that I've accepted it. And I guess, me being the oldest, I've always assumed I'd be the first to go. And there are times I took my brothers for granted. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's ever gone through this. And again, I do welcome people, if they want to share their own stories in the comments. Again, I will do everything I can to make this a safe place. And that's if anyone wants to open up an event, because sometimes it's good to get it off your chest. But anyways, for those of you who have dealt with a great loss, and if you happen to feel like you're alone, you're not alone. Now, I know just simply saying that doesn't necessarily help all the time, because the feeling of loneliness, the feeling of loss, feeling that empty space where once there was someone or some people or something there, and for that person, people, or things to be gone, it can make your mind reel. It can take you aback. It can just wreck you. And if any of you have ever dealt with loss, and you get to a point where you disassociate, like I have, or you crawl into this deep depression, you're not weak. You're stronger than you know, okay? And I don't have any real answers for you. I don't think anyone really does. The best thing you can do is have a healthy support network, friends and family, people you can lean on for support, talk to, open up, cry on their shoulders if you need to, but just know that no matter how much pain it is, there's gotta be someone there that you can open up to. You have to open up. If you bottle it in for too long, it can eat you alive. And I'm not gonna lie, for a while there, I spent time bottling it up. Not because of some kind of old-fashioned misogynist view, but for me personally, I was always afraid that by opening up, I'm taking the pain that I feel and I'm giving it to someone else, whoever I open up to, because I don't want anyone to feel this way, you know? Even though logically, plenty of people have felt this way. It's not exactly a new concept. So, you know, speaking of which, for anyone watching this, if you feel pain over hearing this subject, over this discussion, I do genuinely apologize. It's not my intent to cause harm. It's just, you know, this is Minecraft in life, and loss is a part of life. I do promise you guys there will be some positive videos for Minecraft in life. But this one is one that I wanted to get out of the way because it's the most painful for me to talk about. It's and for anyone who's gone through this, I'm sure it's the most painful for them to talk about too. It's not easy opening up when it comes to loss. It's not easy to say that I have all these regrets over the person I lost or people I lost or the thing that I lost. It's tough. And I'm well aware, like especially after last year, I'm well aware how tough it is. And if there's anyone watching this and you think that it's too much for you to handle, it's I want to say that it's not. And that is the truth. It's not too much to handle so long as you open up. I know I've said that so many times, but that is a point that does need to be hammered in. You see, no one can actually take this on their own to handle all this weight, all this pain, all this sorrow on their own. That's why there's times you just gotta turn to your loved ones and say, hey, I'm hurting. This is why I'm hurting. And even though even if you're worried, that telling them the kind of pain you're in, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about everything you've lost might hurt them as well. It only hurts them because they care enough to worry about you, to empathize with the fact that you're feeling this pain. But at least together, you can all handle this. I'm sorry, I'm pausing a good bit because I'm on the verge of actually crying. Because, again, this isn't easy for me, and this is why this is the first episode after the intro. You know, I have to get this out of the way. I didn't go into details on how I lost my brothers. They passed away, and I won't, because now that is too much for me to talk about. Again, I am in therapy, and we do have group sessions, and I do actually go into details with my therapist on everything that happened, why I feel so much hurt. So, wondering, I'm not a danger to myself or others, Um, and I've been in therapy since I've lost the first brother that I lost, and again, I lost two last year, 6 months apart. So even when I lost my other brother, when I was informed he passed away, I was already in therapy, and yeah, it's helping a little. It's a work in progress. And when it comes to self-help, and when it comes to therapy, or just trying to be able to move forward life, there's no time limit, you know. But what there is a time limit on is cherishing your loved one. None of us are permanent. You know, it's not that I never cherished my brothers. I did. We've had some crazy, amazing adventures, and maybe someday I'll tell you guys about our adventures as kids up in the mountains. But that would have to be a story for another time. Um, I hope that, what words am I looking for? I hope that if anyone's gone through this, that's watched this video, I hope this helps. I genuinely do. Even if you're told, I honest to God hope it helps. Um, to vent in the comments, to get it off your chest, whatever loss you suffered, feel free to do so. And you know, if anyone tries to be a jerk in the comments, you know, I'm just gonna give them the ban hammer, or delete their comment or whatever, because you know, life's too short for all that negativity. Life's too short to be cruel to others. So, with that said, let's all get through this together. I believe that's everything I can say on the subject for now. You all have a good one, okay? Be safe, be kind, and be true to each other, okay? Love you guys. Bye.